history.
London. You'd never guess to look at it now, but according to new evidence unearthed by local enthusiasts, it was here, in this very city, that the Great Fire of London actually started.
If you'd been a tourist then, you wouldn't have been wearing this. Instead, you'd have been wearing this. So, what did start the Great Fire of London? Why did it happen? Where did it happen? Was it chip pan or electrical? I've got just 8.5 hours to find out.
Pudding Lane. Most historians will tell you that it was here that the Great Fire started.
Bollocks. It actually started across the road. Here, at Greg's Baker's, one of London's foremost eating establishments. I'm here because, contrary to rational thought and empirical evidence, I believe this is nearly, almost exactly, definitely, maybe the almost exact spot where the fire may have started. Looks like they've learnt their lesson. Phew.
Kate Rutter is manager of Greg's Baker's. Not the big manager, just of this branch.
So, Kate, you weren't running the branch in 1666, were you?
No.
Kate's right. The manager at the time was a man named Thomas Farriner. As he slumbered on the night of the 2nd of September, disaster struck. A spark from one of the hot lamps ignited the jumbo sausage rolls, decimated the yum-yums, and within minutes had spread to the neighbouring Superdrug.
Fire! Fire! London's burning! Pour on water! Pour on water! Kate, wake up! Have you got any water?
Still all sparkling.
Sparkling.
We've only got still.
All right, still then.
Farriner did his best to stop the blaze, but by then it was too late.
Shit!
It was like closing the stable door after the horse had burnt to death. At around 1 o'clock on September the 3rd, 1666, the fire reached Park Lane. Later that day, it passed Go, and by the evening, it had hit the Old Kent Road. Contemporary eyewitnesses report a top hat and a dog being caught up in the blaze. They wouldn't have had a car. That's unrealistic.
David, there are a few things we need to look at. I've got script rewrites down for scenes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 5 to 40.
Yeah, but the main thing is, David, this dance you've got planned as the god of hellfire.
Yeah, what about it? So, now we know everything there is to know about the Great Fire of London. Or do we? No, we don't, because everything I've said so far is a lie. The fire wasn't started by Thomas Farriner, and it wasn't an accident. It was started in a bakery. I'm not completely wasting your time, but it had nothing to do with buns. No, if we're going to find out who was really responsible and why, we're going to have to look a lot closer to home. If your home is Buckingham Palace. Because the culprit is none other than the merry monarch himself, King Charles II. This piece of parchment, previously unknown to historians, was uncovered by me down the back of a sofa at Hampton Court. We know it's genuine because it's been dipped in tea and burnt round the edges like what documents was in them days. It seems to conclusively prove my theory that this was no mere accident, but instead a case of deliberate arson. It's an insurance policy taken out by Charles II on the 1st of September 1666, covering the City of London in case of fire. I think you hear me knocking. I think I'm coming in. So, why did Charles start the fire? Well, the truth is, by 1666, he was broke. He'd spent too much money on spaniels, wigs, and generally being merry. So now we know who, why, when, what, and which, and where. But how about how? If we're to understand exactly how the Great Fire of London actually started, it's essential that we construct an exact replica of Restoration London using the authentic building materials and techniques of the time. But I can't be bothered to do that, so instead I've come here to Wormholt Park Primary School, where a bunch of kids are going to do it for me using cardboard and poster paint.
They'll do anything to get out of maths. Class 4C are doing a project on the Great Fire of London. They probably know more about it than me. No, seriously.
Using the lovingly crafted houses that the children have made, we're going to try and recreate exactly what London would have looked like on the morning of the fire. Okay, kids?
Yeah!
London, 1666. This is pretty much what London would have looked like, possibly a little bit bigger.
A bustling, vibrant city full of houses, theatres, shops and palaces. All of them highly flammable. David Viles is the fire officer for the borough. He's warned me in no uncertain terms that I would be putting myself and the children in danger if I continue with my reckless plan to recreate the fire. Well, you can't make a history omelette without setting fire to eggs.
Picture the scene. It's 10 o'clock. Thomas Farriner has gone to bed. Charles sneaks into the bakery. He's got his tools, borrowed from the Royal Hairspray collection. He means business. Ready, kids? Yeah! Here goes.
During the real Great Fire, only 8 people died. Let's see if we can't improve on that today.
Okay, children, sing!
London's burning, fetch the engine,
Louder!
fire, fire!
The harsh wind from the Thames fanned the flames. The conflagration was soon out of control. Yes, excellent. Burn, baby, burn. Restoration Inferno. David Viles is being totally unauthentic. In the 17th century, they didn't have fire safety officers to spoil everyone's fun.
That is not what was supposed to happen. You've ruined it. The fire burnt for 3 days. You've ruined it now. Oh, Miles, get up. So what have we learnt? Well, that the Merry Monarch was an arsonist, that the fire brigade aren't nearly as brave or adventurous as they make out, and that if you play with history, you're going to get burnt.
David, Miles, you seen David anyway? Oh.
It wasn't me. It was Simon Sharma. He made me eat the cake.